right, y'all, Smiley Morning Show. Hey, we got the one and only Dr. MJ Carly on with us this morning talking about the COVID-19 vaccine, and we got callers online ready to go. Dr. Carly, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey Smiley, and it is so good to have you in good voice this morning, and we're here with your coronavirus update. So, Rickey, the White House COVID-19 response team revealed a plan to allow distribution of the vaccine through retail pharmacies. So this is going to make it very, very easy for people to have access, because it's thought that millions of Americans turn to their local pharmacists for medications and flu shots already. So people are familiar with them, they feel comfortable with them, and that may increase enthusiasm for getting the vaccine.
Hey, Dr.
To the largest pharmacy chain, yes.
If they put them doggone vaccine shots in the Chick-fil-A, it'll be vaccinated in 1 hour.
Popeyes. they put it in Popeyes, you get a free chicken sandwich. The line will be 2 blocks long. So we understand how to reach people. And there you go. So, Rickey, one of the questions that came up last week, of course, was that elderly deaths associated with the COVID vaccine. Should we be alarmed about it? Well, in Europe, they are taking note of this, and they had 71 observed deaths that suggested they were linked to the vaccine. The elderly, of course, had multiple comorbid conditions. 35% of the people who died were 90 years older, however. 46% were more than 80, and all were over 70 years old. So, can we confirm or deny the link between these deaths and vaccination against the COVID-19? We don't know. Is there a short delay between the vaccination and death? Does that suggest causality? So that's being evaluated. One of the ways to do that is see how many elderly people died in the same period of time under the same circumstances, and see if that number increased based on people getting the vaccine. So it's being looked at and analyzed on a serious basis, because they want to make sure the vaccine is safe for people, and if they need to change some of the recommendations or monitor these people more closely after they've gotten it. So remember, 2 paths to immunity, and I finally heard Dr. Fauci talking about it, is that, once you've had the disease, you do get natural immunity, and they have increased. Remember, before they were saying that natural immunity was good for at least 3 months. Yesterday, he increased it to 6 months. But again, other scientists around the world are saying 36 months and possibly lifetime immunity. There is a question, of course, though, that once you have natural immunity to a particular coronavirus, does that cross over to some of the variants? So we're finding this out in real time, but I was so glad to see that the scientific community is finally catching up, and saying that, natural immunity is good, productive, and lasts for a while. 6 months, which should get us through the pandemic in time for people to get the vaccine.
Wow. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on with Dr. Collier. Good morning.
I just wanted to know, what does Dr. Collier recommend for women of childbearing years? If you're planning on getting pregnant in the next year or two, should we be taking the COVID-19 vaccination? How would it affect, babies and pregnancies?
Okay, there's no scientific data that confirms that it's safe, but the CDC says, yes, you can take it without question, because there were people that did get pregnant during the trials, particularly in the Pfizer trial, and they have not had any bad outcomes. So it doesn't seem that the vaccine crosses what's called the placental barrier, so the baby isn't born with protection, but it also doesn't seem to do any harm to the baby. Now, the World Health Association said they don't recommend that pregnant women take it. They say, we don't have a reason for saying it, we just don't know that it's safe, so we're going to err on the side of safety and recommend that pregnant women or women thinking about getting pregnant not take the vaccine. So that's discordance in the CDC's recommendation and the World Health Association. So you have to make an individual decision, and I would say, based on any other comorbid conditions that you have, and if your pregnancy is high risk, then no. But getting through the disease while pregnant would probably be worse.
All right, you're on with Dr. Collier. Good morning.
I recently had COVID, and I was just wondering, should I still get a vaccine or should I wait?
Okay, the current recommendation is that you wait 90 days after having an infection, but I would check to make sure that I have antibodies. If you're at least 2 weeks out of having the coronavirus infection, you should have COVID antibodies, particularly the IgG antibody, and that should give you long-lasting protection. 2 pathways to protection: getting the disease and getting over it, and getting natural antibodies protection, or getting the vaccine.
All right, you're on with Dr. MJ Collier. Good morning.
Good morning, morning show and Dr. Collier. My name is Clinton Washington. I'm calling from Charlotte. I wanted to ask, in the near future, Do you think that COVID vaccination could be purchased over the counter?
No, it won't be able to get purchased over the counter, but it will, as we see now, be readily available in your local pharmacy. It's just like the flu shot now. You can go and get it pretty much on demand. So it won't be over the counter and easily obtained that way because it is a vaccine and requires an injection. So there's some medical expertise required. But it will be readily available. I think that pathway is going to open up the doors and people will be able to get it, pretty much anybody that wants it. The rate limiting step is going to be developing the vaccine because you can't really speed that process up. There's a chemical reaction that's required, and that's the thing that slows down production. People say, why don't they just ramp up production? Well, it's not like you can make a bigger bowl of soup, or like when you're making gumbo, you say, well, I got 10 people coming over, so I can make a small amount. I got 50 people coming over, I just use a bigger pot. It's not that simple.
Right. Dr. Conley, go ahead and give us your disclaimer.
Okay, these opinions and those expressed today are those of Dr. M.J. Collier, not those of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, Mr. Rickey Smiley, or its radio affiliates across the country. You can reach me on all social media at Ask Dr. MJ. Go to my YouTube channel and also go to lipodrops.com to learn how to boost your immune system.